Welcome back, everyone, to episode 35 of the They Fly Now Show podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Car2D2, joined with my amazing co-host, Hereth Productions. And this week we are going to be talking about bridging the gap. So the whole kind of concept of this episode is we're going to be talking about all of the content that released post Return of the Jedi and pre Force Awakens. So we're going to be talking about Mando, Book of Boba Fett, the Aftermath trilogy, Bloodline, the Battlefront 2 campaign. So all of that amazing content that we got in between episode 6 and 7 is what we're going to be talking today, and the journey to kind of the Force Awakens. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
They fly now!
They fly now! They fly now!
And we're back. Welcome, Choco and Pat. Thank you guys so much for joining with us today. We really appreciate it. You guys know how we kind of do it. This is right out of Choco's handbook. Who are you? Where can we find you and your amazing content? And we'll go to Choco first.
Yeah, I'm Darth Choco on TikTok, Darth Choco on YouTube, Darth Choco 7 on Twitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I need to do more stuff on Instagram. But I also do the High Ground podcast, which is Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. This week, we're going to be doing some deep dives into Mandalore and the Mandalorians. So I am excited about that one. And I also do Dyad in the Force podcast, which is Saturdays at 5 p.m. So yeah, I'm all over the place.
So you guys are taking a week break from the movie episodes, right? Because you guys did Revenge of the Sith last week, correct?
Actually, there was no High Ground last week.
That's right.
You had to go see Morbius.
Yeah, I was invited to the Morbius premiere thing, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, we always mix it up. I don't want to run through all the movies too quickly. So we mix it up with other topics in between.
How was that Morbius premiere like being there? Because I saw you were like with everyone, like the cast and stuff. Like, was most of the cast there or?
Yeah. So the main character, what's his name, was there.
Jared.
Jared Leto.
That was the perfect thing, Chuck.
No, we just don't even say his name. We're just like, yeah, what's his name? Doesn't matter.
I gotta say, Jared Leto freaks me the hell out. Like,
He
that
seemed
guy,
a bit creepy in that outfit.
that guy has consumed human flesh. Like, not even as part of the film. He like, he's probably like, I'm doing research, and then you're like, I don't know.
He's method acting. He needs to get in character for the role.
But yeah, Tyrese was there. Aja was there, and so the main cast was there except for Matt Smith, who lives in over across the pond. But we also got to hang out with a bunch of my TikTok mutuals and stuff like that, and it was funny because I was way more excited to hang out with him than I was
see Jared Leto
to meet the cast. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I mean, I can relate to that. That's how I feel about like Celebration and all. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for the event, but I really don't care about the event. I'm more excited to hang out with people and just chill.
yeah. I don't really care about celebrities. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I've run into them enough to where like, yeah, they're just regular people. But like, if you do stuff and I'm like, no, it's not because you're a celebrity. It's because I want to hang out with you. You're a cool person. That's what makes me happy.
Yeah. So then how did you like go about getting there? That just seems like crazy. Did you get asked?
I don't. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Not to get too off track. Pat, same question.
Hello.
Who are you? Where can we find you?
Well, I am Pat, same Pat of Starfleet on TikTok, and that's basically all I am. I'm just TikTok. Try to get on Twitter, that failed. I don't have the the skills to tweet stuff. So, but no, so it's just TikTok. I basically just do a lot of cosplay, link sync jokes. I'll do the occasional historical chat about Star Wars and the occasional random thoughts on shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and shout out to Pat because he designed our banner. So our wonderful banner on our YouTube channel. Don't sell yourself short, Pat. You are an amazing artist.
That's right.
and I appreciate that.
To
My-
my profile as well.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
big. That's right. I forgot about that. I was just talking about this in the Discord with Camilla. My biggest thing on TikTok is my art series. I have an art series for Star Wars inspired art, which is I take creators and I do art based on what they make. And then I also have the TikTok Avengers universe, which I'm building.
Ooh.
Which is why I take Marvel creators and make them as a Marvel superhero.
Not to mention,
Awesome.
he's a pretty mean Nightwing as well.
Hell yeah.
That is true. Yes. So yeah, check out with the chat real quick. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. But so yeah, before we kind of get into the main topic, which again is bridging the gap, we got some news. We have Queen's Hope releasing tomorrow.
Woo woo!
We got
Yes.
Lego Star Wars also releasing tomorrow. So we got a pretty big week in Star Wars stuff. I know 3 of us have already read Queen's Hope. St. Pat, are you excited? Have you read the other 2? Or...
I have the other 2 in my book holster. They're on the map. I'm stuck on Out of the Shadows.
I feel that.
In the High Republic.
The
And
amount of times I've tried to pick up Out of the Shadows and I've picked up I think 3 or 4 times and just tried to read it and I can't. I feel you. I feel you there.
I'm loving the book. It just for whatever reason what's going on with life, it's been the hardest one to just constantly read through.
Ugh.
And so after that, I got after I finished that Fallen Star, and then I think there's one more High Republic book. Then it's nothing but Padme and her handmaidens, and I'm down for it. I love Padme, I love her handmaidens, and so I'm excited for these books.
Sabe supremacy.
Hell
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but I had the funniest experience with Out of the Shadows is because when the book came out like a couple days before, I was going vacation, so I was like, I'm gonna read it on the plane. Don't remember a lot of the book because I just read it all at once. I was like, oh, what happened in the book?
funny thing about out of all the High Republic books, I've had the most thought-inducing stuff from the first couple chapters from out of the show, and I'm like, oh, there's a history thing I can connect there. There's history. It's pulling all the loose history threads I've been seeing throughout the High Republic together, and it's interesting.
No, yeah, that's great. And then especially because like the Padme trilogy is relatively short each book. Especially if you read it with an audiobook, I mean, I think there are 5 or 6 hours for each book, which really isn't that bad.
And
And if you speed it up, probably 4.5 hours. So like they're day reads and you can be done with that in a week, honestly. I mean, that's kind of what me and Hereth did I probably started 2-3 weeks ago. I know Hereth, like you grinded it out pretty, I don't want to say easily, but like it didn't seem too difficult.
No, I finished it all within 5 days.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing audiobooks, once you slowly nudge up the speed and you slowly nudge it up more, and then when you hear it at normal speed, it's painful. You're like, just say the sentence already. God damn it. Like, I don't know, that's how I feel. I can't go slower than like 1.8 now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention the Padme audiobooks are narrated by
Catherine Tabor.
Catherine Tabor, who voices Padme in the Clone Wars. So that's another really neat thing. And they're just honestly great reads. Me and Hereth recorded our spoiler and spoiler free review, which are going to be up tomorrow. So if you guys want to go check that out, we'll have those uploaded tomorrow or in the next few upcoming days.
Yeah, I gotta have mine up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. So you can also go check out Brandon's.
I definitely have time to catch up because my other 2 Queen's books are paperback, and I have this thing where if I start a series, it has to be the same type of cover.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
See, I'm
So-
not. I'll just get whatever I can skirmish.
Almost,
I don't always get the choice, so
almost everything on my shelf except for Master and Apprentice is all hardcover.
Wow. Yeah, the Master and Apprentice one goes for a lot. Oh no, wait, no, it doesn't. What book? One of them goes for a lot hardcover.
Dark Disciple goes for $90.
Dark Disciple. That's right. Yeah.
really,
Which, yeah. Wow.
dang.
It's a lot of
Well-
money for one book.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep mine in good shape and
Oh.
see.
Wait. Show it to the camera real quick.
Oh, you got sent the physical copy. Ooh.
Oh,
That
That's
is
crazy.
beautiful.
that is beautiful.
And then I'm more often than not have the actual jacket off, just so it doesn't get damaged or anything like that. And then the book is just like a pink cover with like a little
A little indent. That's
indented
how Carol
design.
is too. Yeah.
yeah.
That because like I know whenever I'm reading, I also take off the sleeve, and yeah, you have the little. The camera probably won't pick it up, but it's a little like.
Yeah, there's a little
Yeah.
symbol.
It's
Yeah.
the symbol that appears on her royal robe, I believe. It's that fancy gold trim, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, I gotta do a quick shout out because I got a delivery today, and it's the first Blade and Dagger from. This is Daniel Jose
DJO.
Mulder's his IP, and I'm excited to jump into this because he's just actually I don't think this is. It says cover to be revealed, so I don't think this is the actual cover, but. Still, I'm excited to jump into this.
I need to do a better job of supporting authors for these Star Wars books outside of Star Wars. That's the thing I need to get better at.
Yeah.
Well, especially
Yeah.
when they're just like good people, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these are good.
But
Yeah. Trying to think anything. Oh yeah, Lego Star Wars. Are you guys gamers excited? I know I'm excited. It's already downloaded in my Xbox, ready to boot up at midnight if I stay up that late tonight. So, what are you
I'm
guys
not-
most excited for?
I'm not a big gamer. There's only like a few games I play here and there regularly, but like Lego Star Wars was the most consistent game I played growing up, and so I am so excited for this thing. It's like I'm actually I misplaced my Switch. I know it's somewhere, but I'm actually been looking for it. I'm going to get the online service stuff for it. That way. I'm ready to go for this game because I am so excited, and I just the pictures of the trench run look so amazing.
I have not seen like anything. I'll see something on TikTok that's Lego Star Wars and just swipe away real quick because I do not want this game spoiled. I just want to see it in its complete form. Like I didn't even I watched like 30 seconds of the playthrough that they first released, and then I haven't seen anything since. So I'm going into this completely blind.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've never played any Lego games before, so just as we got started, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start downloading it. I'm going to be playing it on Nintendo Switch.
yes,
so I can
Switch gang, what's up?
Yeah. Because I feel like I think my wife is gonna really enjoy playing it as well, and I have like a couple docks in here. Plus, we'll see because I have a little capture card.
Oh, that's all. Oh, some Choco streaming question mark.
Yeah. Although I'll have to completely revamp my my OBS, but yeah, it'll be a nice palate cleanser after Elden Ring because it's. I have a feeling Lego Star Wars is going to be a little bit more forgiving of a game.
I
A
also
little bit.
was telling people in Discord that like I honestly think Lego Star Wars was built for the Switch. Just like if you think about it from like a gameplay level and like what it seeks out to do, it's perfect for Switch.
Oh yeah, totally.
It matches the vibes for sure.
It
that's one of the
definitely
main
does.
reasons.
Yeah, I just got it for my Xbox because I don't know. Screw it. But yeah, I think anything else you guys got on Lego Star Wars? Any like particular levels you guys are ready to play or wanting to play?
I'm just excited for the more open worldness, because like
Yeah.
that is my dream stuff for a Star Wars game, is just hitting the open world, explore the galaxy, and we're getting there. And slowly but surely we're getting there, and it's a dream come true.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm loving what Chase said in the chat saying it didn't come out on PS2, so I'm not playing it.
That's awesome.
You know what's I think it might be very interesting though is to see how this game is going to affect people's thoughts on the franchise as a whole. Because I know so many people that their first introduction into Star Wars was the Lego game, and it's crazy. But I don't know, I think it's going to be fascinating to see how because every new project is a brand new entry point for someone to get into it, and they better do a High Republic DLC. They better do it.
If they did that,
A Lego Starlight Beacon would be to be able to fly up to that thing would be.
if they, do you think? Oh, imagine if they did. I don't know if they will though. I mean, it's a DLC. Why not?
If they're thinking about making shows, and if they already are thinking of making games in the era, I'd be shocked if it hasn't come up. But they might be waiting to get it on a TV show or something, or maybe waiting for the Acolyte to come out or something. I don't know, but I think it's a huge missed opportunity if they don't start introducing people to these worlds and characters.
Yeah. Oh, I also need a Rebels DLC, which I don't know
Which is
why.
It's so stupid.
Why is that not in the starter DLC? They needed to do a Clone Wars, because there is no Clone Wars, or is there a Clone Wars? I forget what the deluxe
no Clone Wars,
edition
no
was.
Rebels. It's only Mando and Book of Boba Fett.
We need Rebels and freaking Clone Wars. I need to play as
We need
Ezra.
a Journey to the Ascendancy DLC.
Yep.
We need Thrawn.
I'm also looking forward to all the challenges that are going to come up, because like with every game, I feel like there's like just random challenges. So like in Zelda, like it'd be like trying to beat whatever his name is, like at the very beginning of the game, or like I wonder if people are going to try to beat the entire game with like a gonk droid or something stupid like that. Like I can't wait to try and like see people play with just the most obscure characters.
I can't wait to see what Lego shenanigans they play with the
I know.
characters. Just because it's a Lego game, so you know they're going to make it campy and fun, and
Yeah,
and I'm here for it.
I agree.
I am excited because they are. Who knows? Maybe I can play the entire game as Wilro Hood, the random guy who ran in the background with an ice cream maker.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's a playable character. He is a playable character in the game. Just so many random people, but like the Crimson Corsair, he's gonna be dope. You know, it's so wild.
For shout out to the Jedi Smart Malik. For his sake, I need Kenny Klop in the game. Like, come on, TT Games, come on, do it.
I thought Kid Pincha is in the game. I've seen his profile picture.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Like I've seen his Lego Star Wars profile picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I heard Mr. Bones is going to be in it as well.
What?
So excited for Mr. Bones.
Wait, what?
Yep.
I love a good bee.
How?
Battle droid.
How is Mr. Bones in it? What? Because he's
a
not
character.
in any. That is awesome. Which could be a good segue into the main topic.
Yeah. So again,
Let's do it.
like there's a lot to cover here. So
Mr. Bones?
starting with Carter's still on Mr. Bones.
No, I'm like hyped about this now.
You're like, Mr. Bones. But anyway, I was like, transitioning into our topics again. We're gonna start with Battlefront 2 because like that's kind of like chronologically, I would say that's the first thing because you literally take place from Battle of Endor all the way to the Battle of Jakku. What are like your top three like favorite? I would say favorite moments from Battlefront 2's like campaign. Starting with you, Pat. Like again, I know that a lot.
I don't know. I've never played the Battlefront 2 campaign just because I'm not a big gamer, but I've watched Brooke play it, and so I've seen the playthrough. And the one thing that really, the two things that really stand out to me was one, the Lando on the Solus mission, because that was great because we don't get a lot of Lando content, and I see him being how he is as a leader in the rebellion, except for the battle of Endor, and so it was great watching the cutscenes and the playthrough on that one, and plus the Solus factory just looked beautiful in that game. And then I want to say, if I'm remembering this correctly, on the Battle of Jakku, when you're on the ground, and then you're having to deal with Imperials, and that was just great. And then of course the ending.
Oh yeah, the Kylo Ren epilogue ending is so good.
I think I'm being called away. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good. No worries.
But again, Chucko, moving to you with the Battlefront 2 campaign, top 3 favorite moments, like going through.
Yeah. So I kind of Does this also include Inferno Squadron?
Hell yeah.
As a book?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Iden Versio as a character is so fascinating of a person who, her father is just so loyal to the Empire, and her mother literally makes Imperial propaganda for a living, like is an artist that does, propaganda, and how deeply she was in it, like because she was present for the first Death Star blowing up as well. She was in a TIE fighter when it blew up, and then like ended up on Yavin and having to steal a ship and like get the hell out of there as fast as she can. So I just love Iden Versio, and I support women's rights, but I also support their wrongs. She's a great example of that. On top of that, in the Battlefront 2 campaign, there is the mission with Luke. I actually think that's my favorite portrayal of Luke post Return of the Jedi, because he's, to me, the most Luke there. And he's there with Del Meeko, who is very much an Imperial, but Luke never kind of holds that against him. But he's on a mission to blow up Palpatine's observatory there, and they help each other and kind of form a little miniature friendship. And I really think that chance meeting was part of what flipped Del Meeko in the long run. Also Iden, for sure. What else hits me? I mean, just Operation Cinder in its entirety. Hits hard, and once you understand what Palpatine was doing, it's so cool how they've been laying the seeds for this stuff all the way back in 2015.
Which,
yeah,
we got it in Shattered Empire.
Yeah, they first mentioned in Shattered Empire. We got to see what was happening with it, but man, seeing how once Rise of Skywalker came out, and then you could connect the dots of all of the stuff Palpatine was doing, I thought it was an incredible move of like, like it all just connects beautifully. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Nah, man, what do you mean? There was no planning there.
But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
There's no planning there. It's just lazy storytelling, right?
Yeah, but with the Battlefront 2 campaign, going back to the Luke thing, is I love this, like the part where when they're about to blow it up, and he's like, "Wait, I need that watch." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I just want it." It's just like I love like Luke just being so casual about it.
Don't worry about it.
And like how he like influences him to like again, he's like about like how you can have a choice to be better and that kind of stuff, and then obviously like transition with them going back to the rebellion, and then the Battle of Jakku level is, oh my god, like the way like you go from the ground to the sky into a Star Destroyer, like it's just like you go through it all, and like you can look up, be like, oh, that's happening up there, oh, that's what's going over there, because like everything that's happening around it. You're just like, oh. Like it's just like all these pieces, like there's them, there's them.
It Sorry.
No, you're
Go ahead.
good. You go, Pat. You're the guest. You get.
It definitely added a lot of context and feelings to the opening of The Force Awakens when you see the wreckage on Jakku, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a Thane and Sienna? Like, can you like hear
Yes,
their name
they-
over the speaker or something like that?
They drop. Thank Karel get the name drop.
Weird. Like, okay, I've never played it. I tried one time. I got to where Han. It was like a Han level or something like that.
You're about halfway through.
Oh yeah.
That's where I got. So I
And
never got the
Takodana.
whole way through. So there's the thing, Karel.
Name drop in the middle of the Battle Jakku mission. Yes, they say thank Kairos on that Star Destroyer.
I have to play it now.
Which you know who else is on that Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
Look through my eyes.
Chaka, no.
Stop. Damage.
Stop. I can't right now. I can't. I'm gonna reread Lost Stars like now after this book. That book is so good, which is also kind of a
Yeah.
post Return of the Jedi book,
Yeah. After like
kind of
the
for,
last like third of it.
hmm
Yeah.
which just breaks my heart. Pat, have you read Lost Stars?
I do not. It's actually on the docket because I
have
so-
not. That's
That's a crime.
okay.
crime.
Okay. So I read Aftermath, right?
Yeah.
And then school was happening, and I got a bunch of research doing and stuff for undergraduate. So I lost touch on the order of the Star Wars books, and then now I'm here. I'm back into the Star Wars books with the High Republic, and then my list is like so long with all the catch up I have to do.
but
Yeah.
put that on the top of the list though.
Oh,
Put
it's
that on the top.
Master and Apprentice and Lost Stars should just take priority on your list, Pat.
Lost Stars #1.
Yes.
it's right
Okay.
here. So I have it. Do not worry. I'm
Claudia
excited.
Gray should just take priority.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard the first Claudia Gray hate the other day, and I was like,
Who hates
dare
Claudia
you-
Gray?
that's what I was saying. I was in a random Discord server, and so I was like, Claudia Gray, I hated what she did with Fallen Star. And I was like, have you read Lost Stars? And they're like, no. I was like, have you read Bloodline? And they're like, no. I was like, you gotta read that.
You're just
I was
judging
like,
it off.
but I never heard of anyone not like Claudia Gray. I was like, shocked.
I have heard it for Fallen Star, but mostly because things happen to characters that they didn't want to happen to characters.
Yeah,
That's the largest reason for it.
yeah. I thought that book was incredible.
But
I
like
don't know.
again, moving at like a hyperspace pace because
Yeah.
this episode's insane. Moving into again audible one with Pat and Squadrons. Because Pat's like, wait, we should have Squadrons. And I'm like, you're right.
We should, because Lyndon James is the most underrated Star Wars character there is. He is the character I want to see show up. Just even with name mentioned. Anyway, the storyline for Squadrons is so underrated, and the game might have its pitfalls, but the storyline in it is so amazing, and I love it a lot.
I know nothing about the Squadrons campaign, so like, feel free to describe like what
So-
kind of happens if.
So you start off with your cutscene, and you're so you go jump back and forth between the perspective of the New Republic and the Imperial remnants, and so you're playing an X-wing pilot, or sometimes you're playing a TIE fighter pilot, and it's great, and you're caught in between this rivalry between Lyndon James and Tiris. I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but she's an Imperial
Okay.
officer, and they Lyndon James, they were he was an Imperial. He defected to the New Republic, and they worked closely together. And so the whole story centers around the creation of the Starhawk project, which is the thing that helps them win the Battle of Jakku. And so their Imperials are hunting down the project, and they're trying to destroy it, while Lyndon James and his squadron are trying to keep it afloat and just make sure things survive of it. So it's real fun. You go back and forth. I personally preferred when it was just the New Republic. If I could just play New Republic the whole game, I would. But it was fun being a TIE fighter. And so Hera makes an appointment. Rey Slow makes an appearance in it, and it's just a lot of fun. Chandrila pops up. It's great.
I remember because I only played like the first mission of Squadrons, and when Ray Sloan pops up, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't expect her to be this early into the campaign. 'Cause I thought she was gonna be like an ending reveal type character, because she's just like again, like she's such a big character. I was like, okay, she's gonna probably be at the end of the game.
I was not expecting her at all, and so I'm like, when she popped up, it's like, I know I was that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Like,
You're like,
Wait.
Does anyone know if Rey Sloan is a playable character in Star Wars Complete Saga?
no,
I don't think she is.
That's interesting.
That would be cool.
I didn't see her on the list, but the list I was looking at was incomplete. I was looking at a list of like 200 names, and there's over 300 characters. So,
But again, you guys have any like final thoughts on Squadrons in general, or 'cause I know it connects a lot to the.
I didn't jump into it. I mean, I got the game. I tried playing it. I was like, you know what, this is going to be amazing in VR, and I had my heart set on like a VR headset, and I just never bought it, so I never came back to the game. But I will be picking it up. Chase, Forward Into the Black has reinvigorated me jumping into flying sims, and so I'm gonna try to pick it back up.
Choco, we gotta get on multiplayer sometime together.
Squadrons multiplayer is so much fun.
Yeah.
I mostly
What do you
stuck
guys play on?
to the story. I'm on
It's cross-platform.
Any platform can play on. PC, Xbox, PlayStation all play with each other.
Okay, cool.
Which is really dumb because Battlefront 2 is on the same engine. It's not.
But it's not. Yeah, I know.
I know. I found that out today, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting Battlefront 2, because that was the only point of getting. Because I watched the playthrough, so that would have been the only point of getting is I could play with you guys. But I'm PC, so.
Yeah. Yep.
But switching over to again just hyperspace pace the entire episode. Have any of you guys read Shattered Empire?
I have read Shattered Empire.
Again, as we mentioned with the Battlefront 2 campaign, it's the first mention of Operation Cinder. We see more in depth with this Operation Cinder event on Naboo. We see Leia like going through Theed's palace and seeing Maul and Padme, like echoes of Padme and Maul. It's really cool. Again, like it has a lot of like connective tissue. It has Luke and Poe Dameron's mom, I believe.
Shara Bay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
And like they're like getting like a force sensitive tree, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. They save the tree that was in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant.
Oh wow.
And they with two versions of them. You also found out that there's another Imperial garrison on the planet. So after Return of the Jedi ends, there's still work to do, which I thought was really cool.
Again, you got to think this is insane because this comic came out in 2015. This came out around the same time as Aftermath and Lost Stars. Like they released on the same day. So like again, thinking about all this connective tissue that's connected into it is just like insane to think about on like this insane level of how like connected everything is to canon from Lucasfilm's story group. Again, if there are any other final thoughts on Shadow Empire, or there, because like that's most of
Yeah, it was a pretty short story, so there wasn't like a whole ton of highlights. I did love spending more time with Shara Bay and getting her perspective on her participation in the destruction of the second Death Star. And then you also meet Poe's dad on there as well, and his little group, and they play some more parts in the comics, which are doing stuff right now in Star Wars 2020. So if you want to find out more about them, check it out.
All right. Then again, moving a little more forward to the Aftermath trilogy. Again, I really haven't read that much of the Aftermath trilogy, but again, top 3 favorite moments. You could really do like 1 moment from each book or 2 moments. Like, it doesn't really matter how you guys want to split it.
I've read the first one, and that's it. It's really good.
But again, go Tracy.
Yes.
Yeah, go. If you're gonna say something from one of the second 2, just tell me. I'm gonna deafen because I am like, it's like I'm literally gonna go to the bookstore tomorrow and get the second and third one. So like, let me know if you're gonna do a spoiler from the other 2.
Yeah, I remember them as an amalgam.
You just blend them all together.
Yeah, so I could tell you. So you might want to definitely.
I'm just gonna definitely.
One of mine is definitely
So
from later on.
So I've only read the first one too, but like so from that book, my favorite part is definitely the opening. I love how we get the Coruscant perspective from The Last Jedi, because I've always in my mind that was always the thing that stood out when they added that in to the movie, and I'm like, what's going on right here? Because like technically it's still under Imperial control. And there's this huge protest and pulling down, and I need to know what's going on. And so I thought that was the perfect way to open up the trilogy.
Yeah, because you get to see Palpatine's statue fall. Like, you actually see it from their point of view of pushing it off.
Yeah, and that just set up the tone. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good trilogy. I can't wait to finish it. And I'm still waiting to finish it, but then again, I love Mr. Bones was introduced in this one, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I love a good droid, and I love a good B1 battle droid. If anyone knows me. So, Mr. Bones was like definitely a highlight, and I love him so much. And then Wedge was just amazing throughout the whole book.
It's great to get some more Wedge. For me, Mr. Bones is amazing. He's one of my favorite droids of all time. Just imagine a murderous droid that is like super derpy and has weird appendages and will just spin around and slice people's heads off sometimes. He's pretty dope. But with it, we got Sinjir Raphaelis, and I hated this character so much in the first book. Every time he came on, I was just like, oh. And he straight up into this book, second book, third book, one of the most fascinating, one of the coolest characters in Star Wars, in my opinion. He's just like this. He's so clever and plays these games on both a physical and a mental level, and he's just really interesting. And the thing that I always chuckle about that I don't want to spoil for Carter.
I think he's already deafened.
It's the second book when Timon's father comes back. Post later, but
That's right, the Thrawn episode, right?
yeah, no, it was Resistance.
Or Resistance. That's right. I remember Kieran was on.
Kieran was on it, yeah. So I see why you thought it was Thrawn.
Yeah. This sucks.
Wait, I'm back.
We're back. We're on.
We're on. I think that was weird. I've never had that happen before.
Okay, YouTube saying a stream error occurred.
I think we're back.
I think we're live.
We're live. I see we're live again. I will explain the context there. Power went out. That was fun.
Yeah, but we're back now.
I
And
forget where we were. Aftermath trilogy. I think we were talking something spoilers still.
no, I think were you guys done?
The last
Man.
thing that I think before you're gone, Chaco was just talking about Mr. Bones and
A character.
a character he hated.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that for anyone who's looking to get into the book, just understand that the first book is strangely written. Personally, I hated it when I first read it. There was a lot of pieces I loved and characters and like Mr. Bones and stuff, but I really disliked how it was written. And it actually slowed me getting back into it because I was a huge Legends fan prior to that, and I was like, "Oh man!" You know what the really sad thing is it came out the same time as Lost Stars. I picked up the first Aftermath book, didn't like it, so it's like, I can wait. I could have had Lost Stars in my life for more years.
More years.
So-
More years of sadness.
I remember I had a similar story. 2015, I was 13, went to a store, bought Aftermath Goes, hyped for Force Awakens, read the first 3 chapters. Again, I'm 13. Again, my reading tactics are different. Read it and went, oh, this is boring. Closed it, threw it on my shelf. And then, now I'm back into Star Wars reading. I'm like, you know what? I probably should dive back into Aftermath.
Probably should. See, I kind of had a similar experience where I got a bunch of books all at once right when I started reading, and I read every single book I had, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should read Aftermath. I feel like it seems like we all just kind of dropped it to the side, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to finish it. That's all I gotta say.
Queen's trilogy, and then Lost Stars, then I can go back into Aftermath. Those are the priorities.
Oh yeah. So moving forward, we can talk about Chaco's favorite, or one of your favorite, Alphabet Squadron. I know you've been wanting to talk about Alphabet Squadron forever on something. So here is
Yes.
your floor.
The platform's yours.
I haven't read it. Hereth hasn't read it. Pat hasn't read it.
It's all you.
Floor is
Chaco.
yours,
Yo,
Chaco.
go crazy.
Go
Oh.
spoiler. Go everything.
Okay,
Go.
so the reason I
Hold on
hype
here.
up this book so much is because no one has read it, and I don't know why. Like, I know so many people, and they've read so many of the books, and the characterizations are so strong in this book. You know, it starts with Erica Quell, and I always have to start by talking about trader's remorse. Right? Imagine people have been defecting from the Empire because they knew it was horrible. And if you defected early, you're considered a hero. If you defected and you joined the rebellion, awesome. If you waited until and you defected
What is going on?
Are we back? No, we're not on here.
Like, I could see that we're still like.
You were still. I was watching the stream, and you're still on. we were gone.
Are
well,
we,
yeah. So
yeah.
that's how Video Ninja works. A video. Oh yeah, we can still hear us. By the way.
Yeah, we can still hear everyone. Like, there's
Oh,
still
we're good?
There's
We're good?
The audio's
No, no.
there, but the video
No,
isn't.
Oh, okay.
The audio is there. Video Ninja is still up and running, right? It is the server for the stream, but OBS runs through Hereth's computer, so that is what drops off.
Oh, so everyone's listening to us right now.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Oh, okay. Well, we could keep going then.
I'm trying to get Chaco's link, even though it's literally not in the control room. Literally, like, it's hard to describe. Actually, I can't show you, but like Carter's box is right here, Pat's box is right here, mine's right here, and then Chaco's is just gone. Even though I could see him in the call, I could hear him. I can't grab his link.
It's okay. You know,
Well-
no one needs to see me.
Okay,
It's
well,
not-
Well,
I'm
Chaco,
not-
take the floor. While we're
Can-
doing the technical stuff, take the floor. Talk about Alphabet Squadron.
Even
Yeah,
though it's
Well, okay, just imagine though someone who we're dealing with people who were devoted to the Empire, and they finally realize that the Empire is no more, or it's not what it was, and there are people who still stayed on past Operation Cinder. It's like, there's what hope is there for those people? What do they have left? We also find out the red clad droids that showed the Emperor's face to launch Operation Cinder. Yeah, those droids, everyone who they went to took part in Operation Cinder, and the question is, how do they know who to send it to? And that's a big mystery that gets solved. So we find out the deep inner workings behind it, and it's I don't know, it gets
that
deep.
sounds
It
a
gets
lot
deep.
of like politics, and okay, I'm gonna have to pick this book up.
It's politics, but it's mostly like the military side of the politics, where you have the second book really dives into the people on the other side, the pilots on the Imperial side who are on the run from the from the New Republic, and how the roles have kind of switched, and how to these people, in the grand scheme of things, obviously this is a war and things matter, but to the people in the trenches, there's no difference. All they're doing is just trying to stay alive from day to day, and it's crazy. It's a great read.
Sounds
Yeah,
like it.
that sounds really interesting. And every time I hear about it, it seems like it's really freaking good. I guess haven't had the
So now
time.
now it's Queen's Trilogy, Lost Stars,
Aftermath.
Yes.
Alphabet Squadron, then Aftermath.
The second book in the Aftermath trilogy is a little weak in my opinion, but the third book is so damn good that it broke me. I didn't even talk about the trilogy much until I got the last book. That's how good it was.
Wow. Huh.
Oh, Blink.
So
God damn it,
definitely-
Blink.
this is so
Chase knows what
weird.
I'm talking about.
I can copy the links, but I can't get the browser source to go.
Huh. Well, moving on. So Alphabet Squadron is definitely on. It's getting there. I'll read it eventually. But moving on to The Mandalorian. Mando has been amazing. I mean, I think Mando has done so much for the fan base. And just there's so much amazing things. So what are your guys' top 3 favorite moments from Mando? I know there's a lot of badass just moments, but what are your guys' top 3?
Oh, that's hard. I personally just love how Din is just going along
Oh.
for the ride. It's that's it. It just he's in the Star Wars universe, and events are happening around him, and he gets swept up in it. And I feel like that's a perfect way to like expand the universe.
Yeah, like he's like how we are. Like he just has no clue what's going on. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna keep going and protecting my kid.
Literally me right now.
I still maintain that he is just Star Wars Forrest Gump. He's just like just by his he went out for a walk one day and then ends up becoming ruler of Mandalore. Like that's how he operates.
Yeah, for sure. What are your other ones, Pat?
The other ones I'm a sucker for the Star Wars dad type trope, and so this Mando adopting Grogu and the bond that they're it's one of the best things, especially when Grogu is being a child and Mando, who's never been a parent, just has to figure out what's going on and how to like the. It gets talked about a lot, like from a bad point of view, but like I love the eating the egg thing from season 2 because it just repeats.
Yeah, for sure. Chaka, same thing to you?
Man, so I really enjoy it. I think I enjoy it less than most people, but it's done a really good job executing on a relatively simple story. It's it's like when you're playing a video game and you're doing fetch quests and you're leveling up and you're just trying to like you're not even playing the main game yet. I'm playing Elden Ring right now, so that's you're not even playing the main story. You don't even know what the story is. You're just like, I know there's a weapon over here, so I'm gonna go get that, and then like, you know, that's kind of what it feels like. But my I mean, the first watching IG 811 sacrifice himself, that was a beautiful moment. Really enjoyed that. The introduction of Giancarlo Esposito, of his name is not coming to me. But when he could very well still open the hatch, but he cuts through it with a dark saber because he's extra. I love that. And the second to last episode, where we get more context behind Space Bilber. I can't remember that character's name.
Mayfeld.
Mayfeld. Mix
yeah.
Mayfeld. That episode just hit me because, I mean, I'm the character study guy. That's what I love. Is when we can dive into the character and kind of flip things around, and you see things from his perspective, and that, you know, they have such a triumphant moment when the Empire comes and saves them, and it's interesting to tell the story from the opposite side. I thought that was fascinating, really well executed.
Yeah, I have one of my favorite Mando memories is me and my friend were watching through Rebels for the first time, and we got to Twilight the Apprentice. See,
What the hell? No, you're echoing. I'm trying to figure out where the hell that audio is coming from because I had to redo the browser source for whatever reason. Your video is glitching out, so I just added the browser source. But I have so many browser tabs I've muted that I'm trying to figure out where the hell is the audio coming from.
So I haven't been looking at the camera this whole time. Happens. Yeah, I thought that was like 2 months. In retrospect, it's the Alex Mcdonald story, but still hoping for it. Still someday it'll be right. If we were to explain them where we think in the show, I mean, I would just hope that it's, I mean, what I wanted is already kind of blown, so it doesn't really matter. But I was thinking if he was looking for someone to help Grogu with, you know, his Force abilities, you know, I can picture them finding an old grizzled Quinlan Voss, who's no longer a Jedi, still Force sensitive, but is just like kind of a broken man. He fell to the dark side. He came back to the light. He fell in love. He lost the love of his life, and then lost everyone and everything. He's a tragic character, and I just wanted to see him as kind of like the drunk uncle to their little family. I thought that would have been really cool.
So what you're saying is you got the two Mando bros, Boba and Din together. And then you have Grogu, and then you just have a disheveled Quinlan sitting in the corner with a cup. You don't know what's in the cup. But you have
Exactly. I think that's what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
What?
There's just two Carters. It was weird.
Two Carters not good enough for you.
It's getting out of hand.
We're having all the technical difficulties here.
I feel like Din right now. Because the characters are like, oh, he has to go through all these troubles, and I'm just like over here trying to fix all these browser sources, audio streams, and then I'm like, how do I put this back together?
Two Carters, one Chalice. Thanks, Element.
I think we're all back now. I'm looking at the stream, and
This
should all be good.
is just like the technical difficulties on Crack episode. I'm your host.
Hereth, what are your favorite episodes of Mando? Or favorite moments?
I've been out of the conversation, not gonna lie. I've been like trying to fix everything while you guys are just talking. I'm just like, all right, okay, put everything back together. But yeah, favorite Mando episodes, I would probably say, honestly, I'd probably, as much as I love season 2 as a season, I would say I prefer season 1 to season 2 just as the show, because like honestly, it's very, very self-contained. But if I had to pick favorite episodes, I would say season 2, episode 7. I would say the episode Machako was describing about them going to the Imperial camp, and then Din having to take off his helmet for the first time. I thought that was a really good character building episode.
Mm-hmm.
That hit.
Then besides that, I would probably say I'm gonna go with the generic season 2 finale episode. Like the last 2 episodes in season 2.
I mean,
are great.
so good, so good.
out of all the Din taking off his helmet, I think the one with Mayfield is when they're infiltrating the Imperial refinery. That's the best moment because you can see on his face without actually seeing his face the debate that's going on in his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, when Megs tells him or asks him, it's like, is it that you can't take off the helmet or that people can't see your face? Because those are two different things. And, and you realize he's never thought about that before,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff to come from Mando. What are you guys most excited for Mando season 3?
Going back to Mandalore, I think it's about time we've sidestepped it so much that we just need to go back to Mandalore.
Going back to Tatooine.
Of course, because Mando didn't have to pick up Cobb Vanth.
No, I'm just excited to be along for the ride. The way that season 2 ended, and I had all these predictions for what season 3 was going to be, and then the Book of Boba Fett, where it crossed over, destroyed all of it. And so like, now I don't even know.
It was like, oh, I can't wait to see what Din's life without Grogu is. Shattered.
Which
I do want to see him kind of come to terms with his faith. I think that's going to be a really interesting storyline.
I don't think Grogu's staying with Din. I don't. I think he's going back to Luke eventually. I could be wrong. I don't know. That is one thing I didn't like the most about Book of Boba was that Grogu came back like right after he just left, but like I don't know. We'll just see where it kind of goes. But, I mean, it is what it is. Moving on to Book of Boba, what were your guys' favorite moments of Book of Boba Fett?
The Tuskens. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Jaco.
Oh no! Well, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to go first because I actually do have to
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
hop
say.
off. So
Yeah,
I
it's a dip.
apologize.
No, you're good.
But yeah, for Book of Boba Fett, it did two things really well separately, maybe not together, but again, the character study aspect. You know, who is Boba Fett, and you know he's been this lone wolf this entire time. His realization that, hey, all of us bounty hunters are always dying because people are making us do stupid stuff. And you're like, that's exactly right.
Yep.
And I love it because, you know, I know people when it makes Winnie to come back and, oh, they're going to have this vendetta or whatever. Like, no, Django died because he took a job where he had to fight Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, there is no ill will. They aren't, you know, and so I don't think that will ever happen because I don't think Boba needs vengeance. He understands that it could have been anyone who killed his father. He could have died in his
Yeah.
sleep or whatever, you know. So I thought that was really cool. And then the final episode where we got all the mindless action that we wanted, that expecting, and I mean, we got to see Chrysanthemum like throw a guy in the air and then shoot him in the chest before he hits the ground. It was just great. We got to see Boba ride a freaking Rancor. You know, you can't. We got to see Cad Bane in real life go Cobb Vanth.
Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer who works for the
Ooh.
Empire.
That was really good. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It did really good small moments, small introspective moments. It had a really good big spectacle. I don't think they connected the two very well, but isolated, I thought those were both well done.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. But Chaco, if you have to head out, we thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And real quick, if you just want to plug yourself.
Yeah, once again, Darth Chaco on YouTube, Darth Chaco on TikTok. We have the High Ground podcast this Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Mandalore and Mandalorians and all that good stuff. I'm sure Book of Boba Fett's going to pop up there as well. Also, a Diet in the Force Saturdays at 5 p.m. Thank you guys for having me on. I feel for you with the technical difficulties, and at least you have a co-host. When it happens to me live and it's just me, you're just like, it's just
you just like disappear. You're just like, well.
But yeah, thank you guys for having me on, and I appreciate it. And also, thank you guys for just being like awesome members of the community.
Oh yeah,
like Hereth, you've been around for a long time, and I don't know, I just appreciate you guys.
good chatting with you as always, Chaco.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Have a great night. And then there were 3.
Yep, there are 3.
Hello.
So, Pat, what were your favorite moments of the Book of Boba Fett?
The Tuscans. Before I realized, as I started to say, before I realized Chaco was talking. So yeah, the Tuscans were definitely my favorite. One of my favorite parts of the Book of Boba Fett, just because they always. I mean, coming from my background as anthropology and cultural studies and history and stuff, I've always wanted to know more about them, just like what their culture. Well, I think I'm being called again. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, you're all good. Hereth, what were your favorite moments of Book of Boba Fett?
Well, again, a lot of it does kind of blend together in a weird way, where it's like, I do have favorite moments of, I mean, episode 6, just, I can't pick one moment from episode 6. It's just episode 6 in its entirety.
Episode 6 was just so good. It was just so freaking good.
It's just like they just give you the whole farm. You're like, oh, okay, we're gonna get like one thing. Nope, we're gonna get another. Oh, we're gonna get another thing. Oh God, we're just, it keeps piling and going and going and going. You're like, okay, that's that everything. Or you're just like, it's just a lot with that. So I would say episode 6, even though that's technically cheating because it's a whole episode. But besides that, I would probably say, yeah, I agree with Pat. The Boba Fett learning how to become a Tusken Raider in episode 2, I thought, was some of the best like character writing. And yeah, so I would say that episode 6, and then the Cad Bane Boba stuff in the finale.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Cad Bane Boba fight was really, really cool. People are like, they wasted Cad Bane, but like, no. What I mean, what are they gonna do with him? He's an old man and he lost.
Cad Bane it doesn't have like any more.
Mm-hmm.
Post Return of the Jedi, he doesn't have much more like need for him story wise. He's just like he's there, and now his time was the prequel time. He can't. It's not like Boba Fett, where his story is unfinished because we barely got his story.
Yeah, Cad Bane's time has kind of passed, so I definitely feel you there. But anything else you guys want to touch on Book of Boba Fett? I mean, this could be more of a shorter episode.
For Book of, I was honestly hoping we would get more Danny Trejo and Rancor stuff, and so I was kind of sad that we didn't get that. But again, the Rancor was like the highlight of the thing, and my favorite thing is how he just tossed the pike up in the air. You just see the pike go over most of that stuff, and then I honestly I liked the biker game, the mods.
Yeah,
they were
The
fun.
mods were cool.
My thing was with Star Wars is like you have all this tech that being used and out there, but it's only being used for medical purposes. That doesn't make sense. It would be used for like aesthetic
Cool
wise.
things, yeah.
And I feel like they did it they perfectly, because like Star Wars was one of the first cyberpunk type of things out there, and so the mod just good, and I like the Vespas. They're good. They look good. I want one.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I think they got overhated. There's whole thing with like the one guy's spin. He spinned and shot at Pearson. It's like, well, that's Star Wars, so it's. Anything else you guys want to touch on? I think something to note is that throughout every single, or almost every single project we've touched on, the hint of Palpatine's return is in almost all of them, and we're gonna continue to get that story. Yeah, I mean, anything else? You guys want to touch on?
We're missing one big thing though at the end.
What?
Bloodline.
Yes.
Yet again.
Pat, have you read Bloodline?
Again, and the fuck that I let slip.
And
through.
Hereth hasn't. So I'm gonna talk about Bloodline.
Go ahead, because it's a book that I've had numerous talks with Chacos on, and about how I need to read this book.
This book is one of the best canon books I've read. Straight up, I've read over 20 canon books now. This is one of the best. Everything you need to know about this book is in the cover. I just realized that. Literally everything you need to know is basically in this cover. The artwork is done amazing. And it clears up so unbelievably much. If you want to know the state of the politics that the New Republic had, this book. If you want to know if you want to see hints of the First Order rising, read this book. If you want to see how Han and Leia's relationship is kind of playing out, read this book. If you want to see their relationship with Ben, it's in this book. If you want to see hints of criminal underworld stuff, in this book. Like, this book does so unbelievably much. It adds layers to some of the people we see in The Force Awakens. It adds layers to whenever Hosnian Prime gets destroyed. Like, this book does so much. If you have questions about the sequel trilogy and the politics during all of it, this literally answers so many questions that I honestly recommend this to any person who has questions about the sequel trilogy. If you think that the politics aren't making sense, if you're like, think like, oh, why is Han just a deadbeat dad, which I've heard some people refer to him as. Read this, and he's not. He's not. This exactly explains why Han and Leia are not together. It explains why. It's so good. There's a huge twist that happens in the middle. It's so good.
And this is why I love the the bridging the gap material that we're getting, because it expands the universe so well. And I just with the stuff we're getting between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, I don't think the Star Wars universe ever felt more real and more physical
Yeah.
than it has at this point.
Yeah. And also Ransom Casterfa. You get introduced to Ransom Casterfa, who's a very interesting character to say the least. So yeah, I honestly I can't recommend this book more. Like whenever I was before I read it, I was like, oh, like this book might be good, and I like picked it up just randomly on a limb, and
So
like, this should be near the top of your to read list.
let's go with I gotta redo the book list again. So
Lost
Queen,
Stars. I would go Lost
Queen-
Stars
Queen-
after or Queen's.
Queen's trilogy.
Queens?
That's number one. Then it's gotta be Lost Stars, Bloodlines, Aftermath, and Alphabet Squadron.
Yeah, I would put it in that order. Also, Master and Apprentice, you said you were in the middle of.
Well, I finished it, but I'm gonna reread it because again.
Oh, so
I
you already
love,
read it, so just priority.
Yeah, it's I love Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon is my favorite character in Star Wars. My favorite Jedi.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, but I can't recommend that book enough. And honestly, that's probably one of the best bridging the gap books when talking about bridging that gap between the two. That's one of the best, if not the best.
again, I wish, I wish we could revisit this episode. We should after Shadows of the Sith come out. I feel like that's gonna be the book that's gonna like bridge everything.
That is going to be the clutch.
Yeah, but again, I feel like we basically just ran out of points to talk about, and I had enough typical difficulties, so I'm gonna die.
Yeah, so we apologize everyone for the technical difficulties tonight. Next week, what are we talking about, Hereth?
Let me grab the list. I'm sorry, I'm so out of it this episode because like
You're all good.
when the power went out, everything just flickered and changed, and I was just like, and then everyone just saw how like I was updating everything live. So
You're good, Hereth. It's been a great episode, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we had a great time. Technical difficulties happen. But while he's doing that, St. Pat, if you want to, where can we find you in your content? Just again, plug yourself.
I am on TikTok at St. Pat of Starfleet. That's st.pat_of Starfleet, all one word, all lowercase.
So yeah, thank you so much, Pat, for joining us. We really appreciate it. Shout out the chat real quick. We had Chonko in the chat, Pat in the chat, Luke from Pods One Podcast, Jedi Master DePaul from Conspiracy Cantina, Chase Ford in the Black, what's Chase's podcast name? I'm sorry, Chase.
Rogue Council.
Rogue Council. I'm sorry, Chase. B Dazzler. Shout out to Brooke B Dazzler, Far Away Factory. Go check out the Etsy store, but now the website. So thank you, Brooke. We got Element 7. Camilla stopped in for a bit. So yeah, thank you, Fern stopped in for a bit. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We had an amazing time talking about bridging the gap. And next week, Hereth,
Relationships in Star Wars.
Relationships in Star Wars Part 2. It's going to be very interesting.
So I
to
gotta
say the
get
least.
Dark Disciple done.
We had a very fun time last time. So this should be another great time.
Sounds like a blast.
So thank you guys so
guys.
much for joining us.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
for having
cool.
me on. It's
Always.
been you guys are just amazing. I'm glad I got to know you in the community.
Well, hey, can't wait to meet you at Celebration, Pat.
Oh,
Yep,
yes. Gonna be awesome.
So may the force be with you guys.
always.